the penthouse now, but the mindset from the yard and the yard. Why? The character, the particular, school of the difficult, original dissolving, the arrival of the viable success and the test of the reach is whether they preach. Values are the before survive, the arrive of the after, and the laughter of the ones who knew the coming from, recognize the staying off the same.
Come and navigate the new rooms with the old compass and the goal of the original.
Character is the perennial
Anchor of the navigation through the station
of the elevated
and the weighted temptation
of the renovation of the self into the shelf, ready version of the success rather than the bliss original.
through the full journey
From the yard create the ones who know you from the before is the door of the mirror and the clearer reflection of the check of the tape. Promise to the self of the remaining of the same through every frame of the change circumstance. I make policy at once from the yard at the yard calculation, but the station of the real where the feel of the grounded is the founded
truth of the unchanged inside.
still the same, still the same.
Behind the changed address,
Still the same. Behind every success, money no change the heart inside. Still the same. That is the real pride from the yard to wherever now. Still the same. Never forget how the journey starts.
the journey starts.
Never lose the core. Still the same. That is what we're here for.
That is what we're here for.
The temptation of the new is the review of the values and the tallies of the losses. When the bosses of the new lifestyle require the tire of the old self to make room
For the bloom of the market level and the parkable version of the success.
and the test
And the test is the refusal of the tool of the ratio
of the treasure of the origin in the discipline of the stain of the stain.
And me see the ones who let the new address pursue the deletion of the eating from the same table of the frame of the original and the mineral of the character deplete when the meat of the success
Require the dress of the performance of the bond, the fit and the worn authenticity strip away for the display of the arrive.
me bring the same ones to the table
Table of the
new on the
table of the change,
circumstance of room for the
unchanged
art of the
relationship
and the ship
of the original self-sale
through every day
of the temptation
of the station
of the elevated
to remain the same.
and the compass of the origin. Find the discipline of the stage, doing the displaying of the authentic in the atmospheric.
Pressure of the success,
That the best version of the person is the uncompromised,
unprized,
original.
not the full renovation of the station.
Still the same.
Behind the changed address,
Still the same. Behind every success, money no change the heart inside. That is the real pride from the eye to wherever now. Never forget
the
how
journey starts.
the journey starts. Never lose the core. That is what we're here for. That is what we're here for.
The real ones,
The real ones, Shenseea, to changing and be ranging. But the mindset from the yard and the yard, wiring of the character built in, the particular school of the difficult, original dissolving the arrival of the viable success and the test of the reached is whether they preached. Values of the before survive, the arrive of the after, and the laughter of the ones who knew they coming from, recognize the stain of the same.
and me navigate the new rooms with the whole compass and the goal of the original.
Character is the perennial anchor of the navigation through the station of the elevated and the weighted temptation of the renovation of the self into the shelf, Ready version of the success rather than the bless. Original, who the full journey from the heart create. The ones who know you from the before is the door of the mirror and the clearer reflection of the check of the kept promise to the self of the remaining of the same through every frame of the change circumstance. And because the same one from the heart, not the heart calculation, but the station of the real, where the feet of the grounded is the founded truth of the unchanging side. Still the same. Behind the change address, still the same. Behind every success, money no, change the heart inside. Still the same. That is the real pride from the heart to wherever now. Still the same. Never forget how the journey starts. The journey starts. Never lose the course. Still the same. That is what we here for. That is what we here for.
Yeah, the temptation of the new is the review of the values and the tallies of the losses when the bosses of the new lifestyle require the tire of the old self to make room for the bloom of the marketable and the parkable
version of the success and the test
is the refusal of the tool of the erasure
of the treasure
of the origin
in the discipline of the stay of the seal. And me see the ones who let the new address pursue the deletion of the eating from the same table of the frame of the original and the mineral
of the character deplete when the meat of the success require the dress of the performance of the band different than the word.
Authenticity strip away for the display of the arrive.
Me bring the same ones to the table of the new and the stable of the chain
circumstance of
room for the unchanged
heart of the relationship
and the ship of the original
self-feel
through every gale
of the temptation of the station, the elevated
to remain the same
and the compass of the origin point the discipline of the stage
through the display
of the authentic
in the atmospheric
pressure of the success. That the best
version of the
person is
the uncompromised
and price
original,
not the full renovation of the station. The same. Behind the change address, the same. Behind every success, money no, change the heart inside. Still the same. That is the real price from the heart to wherever now. Still the same. Never forget how the journey starts. The journey starts. Never lose the course. Still the same. That is what we here for. That is what we here for.
Alkaline,
the real ones.
The penthouse now.
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 The penthouse now. The penthouse now. The penthouse now. The penthouse now. But the mindset from the yard and the yard, warring of the character built in the particular school of the difficult original, dissolving the arrival of the viable success and the test of the reach. This weather the preached values of the before survive the arrive of the after and the laughter of the ones who knew the coming from. Recognize the stain of the same. I me navigate the new rooms with the old compass and the goal of the original. Character is the perennial anchor of the navigation through the station of the elevated and the weighted temptation of the renovation of the self into the shelf. Ready version of the success rather than the blessed original, who the full journey from the heart create. The ones know you're from the before is the door of the mirror and the clear reflection of the check of the cap promise to the self of the remaining of the same through every frame of the changed circumstance. I may call the same ones from the heart, not the heart calculation of the station of the real, where the feel of the grounded is the founded truth of the unchanged inside. Still the same. Behind the changed address, still the same. Behind every success, money, change the heart inside. Still the same. That is the real pride from the heart to wherever now. Still the same. Never forget how the journey starts. the journey start. Never lose the core, still the same. That is what we're here for. That is what we're here for. The plantation of the new is the review of the values and the tallies of the losses when the bosses of the new lifestyle require the tire of the old self to make room for the bloom of the marketable and the packable version of the success. And the test is the refusal of the tool of the duration of the treasure of the origin in the discipline of the stain of the same. I'm gonna see the ones who let the new address pursue the deletion of the eating from the same table of the frame of the Riddim and the mineral of the character deplete when the meat of the success require the dress of the performance of the bond different and the burn authenticity stripped away for the display of the arrived. May bring the same ones to the table of the new and the stable of the changed circumstance. Have room for the unchanged part of the relationship and the ship of the original self-sail through every gale of the temptation of the station to every friend of the changed circumstance. And we call up the same one, set from the art, not the art calculation, but the station of the real, of the feel, of the ground is the founded truth of the unchanged inside. Still the same, still the same. Behind the change address, still the same. Behind every success, money not money. Change the art inside, still the same. That is the real pride. From the art to wherever now, still the same. Never forget the journey start. The journey start. Never lose the course, still listen. That is what we're here for. That is what we're here for. The temptation of the new is the review of the values and the tallies of the losses. When the bosses of the new lifestyle require the tire of the old self to make room for the bloom of the marketable and the packable version of the success. And the test is the refusal of the tool of the erasure of the treasure of the origin in the discipline of the stain of the sin. I may navigate the new